What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another interesting One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So, over the last day or so, V-Jump magazine leaks has been slowly releasing, and as we know, with every V-Jump magazine, there's always going to be some more One Piece Treasure Cruise related news. Now, with this specific V-Jump magazine, we actually knew everything on this specific leak for this month. However, there was one interesting little image at the bottom right hand side of the One Piece Treasure Cruise page, and in today's video we're going to be breaking down all of that, and as you can tell by the title, it's very interesting stuff. So hopefully you guys do go on to enjoy the video, and if you guys do, make sure to smack the like button down below as always. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So according to these V-Jump magazine images, it states that there's going to be a brand new mechanic introduced into One Piece Treasure Cruise Japan. Obviously Global will get this eventually. Hopefully we get it sooner rather than later. Like, hopefully Global do get this miniature update like very quickly, like they have done in the past with some other previous things where Global does get it a little bit quicker than what Japan had it. So it would be nice to see if Global does get this really soon. But Japan apparently will be getting this update in September, which introduces a limit breaking sort of mechanic. So let's just go through what this V-Jump magazine leak basically says. So it says that the mechanic is called limit break. This limit break mechanic will be introduced in September, as I just said. By using specific items or clearing specific islands, you'll improve your proficiency, and by improving your proficiency, you can unlock the following things. Number one, this is what I'm about to say right now, is in that red speech bubble. The first item in that red speech bubble says obtain a sailor ability. So units that don't have a sailor ability can then access gaining a sailor ability through the limit break system. Following that, it says reduce cooldown, as in starting cooldown, not the same as cooldown sockets. So that is very interesting. I'm not too sure if that means that, well, in this image it has the raid boss Mihawk artwork. Does that mean that Mihawk will now be at like a 16 turn cooldown like always if this specific ability is unlocked? Because if that's true, that makes this system absolutely game breaking. This can actually make some older units that were pretty difficult to use, it can make them exceptionally powerful. Moving on from that, it does state that you could potentially get an extra socket ability. Like, this is crazy. This is a crazy ass system. And the last one there, it says improve your captain ability. Now that one is a very vague sort of ability. Not too sure what they're going to be doing about that. I was thinking about this because this information did come out quite a while ago and I was actually busy at the time. But now that I've had a little bit of time to think about it, improving your captain ability, one way that I can see this working really well would be perhaps an upgrade where it will add a certain number to the character's multiplier for their attack. So in the case that we're going to use the image here, Raid Boss Mihawk, instead of 2.5 times attack to slashes, what if with every single node that you unlock for this potential system, it will increase the, it'll increase the captain ability's effect. So what if they add like 0.1 to the captain ability? So instead of 2.5 times the slashes, it's 2.6 times the slashes. And let's say if Mihawk has like 2 or 3 of these, he can go to like a 2.75, 2.7 or 2.75, 2.8 times attack for slashes. I think that this would be really cool. Obviously, not all characters boost attack, so maybe it'd be adding multiplier for something else. So if it's like a recovery based captain, it could add more recovery or something like that along those lines. But I think that would be an insane ability. A lot of people are saying, oh yeah, but what if you use this system on Raid Boss Akainu? And now you gotta remember, guys, this system is going to be balanced, in my opinion. I think it's going to be really well balanced, and I think that not every single character is going to have the exact same limit breaking path. As you can see here, this is like a set path that you have to unlock for Mihawk specifically. There's no like selecting which ability that you want to unlock. Mihawk in this case just unlocks whatever ability is on his path. So I think that if they are going to do this for legend characters, obviously they're not going to give a 5-socket character the ability to get an extra socket, because having 6 socket spots, I just don't think that that's going to happen in One Piece Treasure Cruise. If it does, that would be absolutely mental. But in my personal opinion, I think that a character that has 5 socket spots would not get this type of ability. But if you have a character that has 4 or 4 or less, whatever, then having the ability to gain an extra socket could be a very, very viable ability. Also on the nodes, you can see on that right hand side, you can see different little nodes have arrows pointing upwards. So I would imagine that that's relating to increases in stats. So red would be attack, the orangish one would be health, and then the blue one would be recovery. That's just my opinion. Could be completely wrong, but that's just from basing it off the image. We don't know too much information at this point. Once we do get more information, I'll probably make another video about it. This is all very, very fresh information right now. And as you can see as well, I don't know if you guys can see it, but with the picture on the right-hand side with the Raid Boss Mihawk picture, you can see that it does state 5,000 points with a plus next to it. I don't know what that's about. I'm not too sure what this means. Does this mean that this Mihawk has 5,000 points to spend on his limit break? Or does it mean... I honestly have no idea. I don't know what that could potentially mean. And hopefully that the 4 abilities that I said about attaining sailor ability, reducing cooldown, extra socket, and improving the captain ability, hopefully those are just example ones. Like, those are just not all the 4 that you can get. Hopefully there are like different ones that they introduce into the future. It would be interesting to see what they could possibly do. I'm not too sure where they could really go with this limit breaking system, but this is a system that I've wanted in Treasure Cruise personally for a while. Some sort of system to improve your units overall, and I think that this potential system is going to be amazing, and it's honestly all that I've really wanted from Treasure Cruise. When we compare this to other gacha games, quote unquote limit breaking potential system, whatever, so if we compare it to Dokkan Battle, in order to unlock the best abilities for that unit, you need to have duplicates of that character. Now, as it states from this picture, it states that you need specific items or clearing specific islands. So it looks like you're going to get maybe specific items that will come out later in the game, and then you use these items to unlock each of these singular nodes on the character itself. But one thing that I do have to say, as I said before about those points, 5,000 points. So maybe you get these items that you transfer into points, and there's different rarities, and different rarities give you more points depending on what you drop in the dungeon. That would make a lot of sense, actually. That would make a ton of sense. So you can drop specific chests, and each chest will give you maybe a different rarity of this item, and those items can be exchanged for those points for that character. I think that would make a lot of sense as well. But going back to the Dokkan Battle side of things, they do need duplicates to unlock their best abilities. Now, in this case, the best abilities to unlock would be obviously adding the extra abilities to the characters. The stat increases are really good, but everyone would be wanting to get all of those extra abilities on their characters. So, with Dokkan Battle, to get those, you need duplicate abilities. Now, when you compare it to Naruto Blazing, theirs is probably the worst limit break system I've seen, because all you really get is stat boost. That's all you get from limit breaking, and that's one of my biggest complaints about Naruto Blazing limit breaking, is that there's no benefit to it except the stat increases. It would be so nice if there was additional things for their jutsus, or they get an extra ability or something like that. But I like what they're doing with Treasure Cruise, because it makes limit breaking actually worth it, and it makes limit breaking so unique for this game. Adding those specific abilities that are really game changing. As we said, sailor abilities on characters that don't have them, that can make some certain teams that wouldn't previously be able to beat certain content. That opens up so many more possibilities for different teams with this limit breaking system. Also talking about the cooldowns, it makes speed teams even better. An extra socket spot, like even that, just that by itself is quite game breaking. And then as well, improving your captain ability. As I said, I'm not too sure about the captain ability one. What I said about an extra multiplier on their captain ability, or maybe adding an extra effect to their captain ability, could also be a potential thing as well. Like, again, going back to the example with Raid Mihawk, as I said, adding an extra multiplier would make sense, but what if they potentially give him a health boost of some sort? That would be kind of busted. And it really depends on how you have to limit break. That's the biggest thing that we are waiting for information on right now, is how do we go ahead and you know, limit break our character to the max that they can possibly be. Because if that grind to max out a character is significant, then it might not be a good system. But then again, we don't really know. We don't have enough information at this point to determine whether or not that, you know, this thing is going to be a very big thing in the future. I would imagine this thing is going to be one of the biggest updates in Treasure Cruise, because you know, just all of these different abilities are going to change the way that some certain teams play, as I said, with the improvement of captain abilities, sailor abilities, and as I said, you know, these might not even be the final abilities yet. There still might even be more abilities that they haven't revealed yet that could be quite new. You know, we don't know. They could add different features to this. What if they give abilities for characters to get the captain action, like 6-star Sanji? That would be awesome, because there are so many characters in Treasure Cruise that we've said would be awesome with that feature, but they've only given us Sanji to have a captain action. So maybe that's the ability of the improvement of captain ability, is giving them a captain action. That would also make a ton of sense as well. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, guys. I'm really interested to think what you guys have to say. Just looking from some of the comments on Discords and Reddit, it seems like a majority of the community dislike this limit break system, and I really don't know why. I think that this is a great way to make free-to-play players be able to beat a lot more content if they are able to limit break their free-to-play characters to basically new heights and be able to beat the content that they wouldn't be able to previously do, with lower cooldowns, extra abilities, just different ways to get around certain bosses is just an amazing feat for this game, and I'm really excited to see what the future of Treasure Cruise has to hold. So as I said, guys, leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section, because I'm very, very interested to see what you guys have to say. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and if you guys did, make sure to smack the like button down below, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.